Can you solve a Rubik's Cube? A so-called speed cubing champion has set a new world record by solving almost 7,000 cubes in the space of just 24 hours. It's 20-year-old George Scholey who broke the previous record last week, and I'm thrilled to say that George is with me in the studio right now, along with some Rubik's Cubes, which I'm going to get you to do in a minute, because I think your time per cube for solving is what, about 12, well, exactly 12.46 seconds.
12.4, yes, throughout that attempt it was 12.46, but obviously that's like breaks included, like during the attempt, whenever like I took a break, the time just went on.
The time didn't stop. So
yeah,
how long does it actually take?
I mean, on average, if you don't include the inspection time, that you don't when you're actually in an official competition, actually on average more like 7 seconds.
Wow, okay,
yeah.
Well we've got a timer
yeah.
and we've got 2 cubes, so we're going to test you in a minute.
All right, yeah, no worries.
Why did you get into this?
Yeah, so I mean, I started about 7 years ago now. I actually used to be into magic, magic tricks, stuff like that, and Rubik's Cube magic was becoming kind of a trend, essentially, during that time. So I thought, why not kind of get into it and yeah, start doing kind of Rubik's Cube magic tricks. But when I got it, I was just instantly hooked, I must say.
How long did it take you to work out how to do it? And did you ever do the classic thing of pulling it apart, which I think everyone
I actually didn't.
You did?
That and like pulling the stickers off. Obviously, yeah, everyone tried doing that. To be honest, I just kind of applied myself. I feel like in my generation, it's all out there online. So I just kind of went on YouTube and just learned via a tutorial.
So anyone, I'm starting to scramble, and what I'm really noticing about this one is it turns really, really easily.
Yes,
so
you have a lot of really, exactly.
Do you grease them? What happens?
Yes, you get ones that are like pre-lubricated when they're like sent to you,
okay.
or there's a lot that goes into like kind of setting them up, as they say, like tensioning them. That one actually, for example, has 48 miniature magnets inside it, so every turn has like this tactility, this kind of click,
nice.
Which is really, it's good, isn't it? Yeah, it turns very nicely.
I'm worried I'm making it too easy though. I'm really trying to scramble
do it as much
very
as you
well.
can. I mean, chances are by now that scramble's never been seen by anyone ever. It's got 43 quintillion combinations.
Oh wow, okay. But then, so you said that, you obviously you go on YouTube, you see the different ways of trying to fix it.
Yeah, you learn algorithms, essentially. That's the way it works, yeah.
So when you look at this then, what does your brain see in terms of the algorithm that's going to de-scramble that?
Yeah, so of course I can't just learn 43 quintillion things and apply them. Of course, I split it up into steps.
Okay.
About 4 steps is kind of the typical method that most speed cubers use. So I start by building kind of the cross. That's what it's called. That kind of forms the foundations of the cube.
The cross, that's like.
It's actually going to be along the middle. So
okay.
like
I see. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly like that.
Yeah,
exactly like that. And then that kind of forms the foundations. I planned that out, and then maybe like a couple more things in inspection. But from there, I kind of might be pausing a bit, because I'll be like having to recognise when to use a certain algorithm, then use it for that specific case.
Computer.
So
I'm going to give this to you now. I think I've scrambled it enough.
Thank you so much.
Okay, let's just check. Have we got the timer going? Okay.
All right.
Okay, go.
There you go.
What?
Yeah, that was about around the world record time, wasn't it? It was 12.46. My hands are a bit cold, but yeah.
I was absolutely gripped, actually, because I'm going to scramble another one. I want to see that again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because basically I saw like one side come together, and then it just seemed like the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Suddenly...
So, yeah, actually, it's a common misconception that you actually build it in sides. Yeah, 6 sides.
Yeah.
You actually build it in layers from top to bottom.
Okay.
Or sorry, from bottom to top. So the first layer, the second layer, then the third layer eventually. Obviously, it becomes progressively harder because the more you solve, the less you want to mess up what you've already made. That's obviously a big thing with it, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it's really important that you learn these algorithms. They're kind of like temporarily mixing it up, then putting it back, having switched a few pieces. The more algorithms you know, obviously, the better you'll be as well. So like just to solve it, you only need to know about 4 or 5. But at this kind of point now in my cubing career, I know about kind of 1,000 or so. So yeah, it's just a lot of practice, a lot of kind of drilling these algorithms. It's a lot of muscle memory.
Can you maybe do this one a bit more slowly to give someone watching at home
break it
some
down?
tips?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean,
and I'm going to scramble this one, so we'll have another quick one. But if we could give us some good tips.
So I mean, there are 6 sides, right? 6 colours. The centerpieces, they determine the colour of each side. So blue will always be opposite green, red always opposite orange, etc. Okay. That's always the case, which means you kind of when you know that, it means that you always can start on a certain side and you know which centres will be around it, where the pieces need to belong around it. So I'm going to start in this case on the green cross. So I'm going to do that, and it builds the cross. So I'm doing
Anyway,
this certain amount of intuitive moves. I'm afraid that there's no way I could break it down to a point where someone could learn from a BBC interview.
And you just said about the intuitive moves, so it's like your brain almost is working
that first step
faster
is quite
than
intuitive.
you consciously know.
In a way, I suppose. Yeah, in a way. I mean, so in this case, that first step, the cross, is intuitive. The rest of it is fairly algorithmic, so it's kind of like muscle memory, but applying muscle memory. So imagine kind of like a 10, 15 chord piano song that you just kind of drill and you know your fingers can do it. I'm not thinking like as I'm doing this like right up, left. I'm just thinking like my hand does this kind of thing. But I'm recognising when to use it is the main thing. And then I'm going to be doing these algorithms that are going to solve the first 2 layers in one go. So then those first 2 layers are then completed at that point. And then after that, you'll do the last part in 1 or 2 steps. In this case, I'm going to do it in 2 steps.
Okay.
The first part will be to solve the whole of the top face. Not the top layer, just the top face. So I'm going to make all of this blue, like that. And then I'll use an algorithm to solve the rest of it, to switch around the rest of them. Wow. And that's how it solves.
I love it. Okay, right, I don't know what the time was for the first one. It was
about
around 12 seconds.
Yeah, I must have known, my hands are pretty cold. And I must admit, like, after the attempt, after solving for 24 hours, my wrists did get a bit painful.
Repetitive strain injury.
And obviously I'm still recovering. It was on a Thursday, and like, staying up for 24 hours was tough. You know? I did the whole thing caffeine-free though.
Well
it was
done.
quite interesting. Yeah, all right.
So with no pressure then, please try and beat your record.
Let's go again. That was much better.
It was less than. It was like.
That was less than 8.
That was 7 point something seconds.
Yeah. That was much better.
7 what?
6.72.
6.72.
There you go. There's a lot better. It's about half the time of the last one. That was a lot better. Yeah.
So you described a Rubik's cubing career.
Yeah,
Where do you go from here?
When I say career, I mean it's not my main job right now. I'm a university student, so I work in retail like 3 days a week to make ends meet. So I'm just this is just my side thing.
Do you not
but
make any
I really
money from
enjoy it.
doing this?
You can, absolutely, and I'm a Rubik's ambassador for the Rubik's brand. I take a lot of pride in that. So I do a lot of work with them. I probably plan on pursuing a career, but after university.
Okay.
So for now, this is just a side thing.
I presume you always have a Rubik's cube in your pocket.
You would assume so. At the start, definitely. Like, it was obviously an obsession and I was a lot younger, but like now I'm not really going to have one on me a lot. But yeah, obviously I still enjoy doing it when I can.
I could keep talking about this. It's been really great to meet you and to see that. Thank you very much.